Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Folklore. Now we're going to face the mini-boss of this place. Well, the first of them. He's not particularly difficult. The only shtick with him is that he has a lot of HP. A lot of it. And and also, well, what also kind of doesn't help is the fact that I insist on doing it this way because I'm having way too much fun. There is no other way, like there is no other reason for me to keep using these weaklings, as opposed to shoving boobs and trance into his face. But yeah, I would still throw Piggly no matter what.
Well, of course.
But yeah, this guy will randomly just after getting some punishment he will just slow down for a minute, which is not really that big of a deal since there are no other guys around him. But it does become kind of a big deal when you get around doing the DLC quest of this chapter.
Hello.
I was just kind of waiting in order to get all of my force back.
Right.
And now he runs around for some reason.
He's confused. He doesn't know why you're beating him up.
He doesn't know why there are so many pigs.
No. He'll never understand. That's why he has to stop and contemplate his life every now and then. Just why are these pigs here?
Yeah, this one is a little bit more finicky than others. Although once you find the sweet spot of how to do it, it's not quite as so difficult.
What am I watching?
Yeah, you just kind of wiggle the controller back and forth. Although you can do it like blah, 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 blah. You actually have to kind of do it like slowly but surely, kind of follow how it's supposed to be going.
I love that. You literally just slam their soul into the ground multiple times.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
The way I found how it works best, you should be you should actually be sitting down and just kind of have it as flat as possible. The controller, I mean. Then it will work like 100% of the times. You can just kind of it's one of those that you just can't wing it very easily.
So he can charge his move.
Yes. And here was me just kind of getting one last out of them. Because I needed to, I was leveling up some of my dudes, just going back and forth between those levels. And also he had one requirement, which was, I think, which was absorb this many of that dude, you know. And this picture seems a little bit confusing at first, but what it's actually depicting is an electric robot slamming an aeroplane with an electric shock.
Huh.
Yeah, I didn't I only figured it out right now what it's actually showing. Like, at first I was like, is it supposed to be underwear or something?
Wow, Scarecrow's got the up and up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they're already giving you some hints, even on the Ellen side, that the Fairy King may not exactly be as righteous as he makes himself out to be.
Yeah. That said, Scarecrow is still like the best guy, most good guy.
He's a fucking traitor. He wanted to get me killed. Or rather,
Nah, he's
no.
goo.
No, he didn't want me. He didn't want me to get killed. That would be easy. He wanted me to suffer.
Yes.
Over and over and over.
He was only looking out for your best interest at heart.
Well, he should probably swap with Bagel for that role. I mean, I would be okay with doing the same thing as Ellen God, with Keats and Ellen doing the Keats' mission. I think they just kind of arranged a meeting with some sort of a folk trainer, and they both met at the same place at the same time, and just kind of bumped into another. They dropped all of their papers, and they just kind of picked up the wrong ones. That's the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, no person would be so cruel as to give a poor little girl wearing a fairy outfit such a difficult mission. And this is an interesting bit of information. The spirit is just kind of fucking about around here.
You don't say.
And I decide to not go there. Because there are like 3 ways to go from here. And actually going that way would have been better. Because that way doesn't actually lead to anywhere. It's just like a closed room. And I would have gotten a pretty damn useful folk out of that. But, you know, you can't have everything.
Until later.
And here is the electric robot that we've seen earlier. It's actually pretty damn good as a shield. Even though it's not his primary function, he does reflect most of the elements. And is only weak to destruction.
So we're gonna have to feed him brownies.
Nah, I'm just showing it off. I'm just gonna show it off around here because, like, I'm going to forget otherwise. But thankfully, even though he reflects many elements, he's not too tough himself. But he has some of the most awesome, some of the most useful attacks that stay useful for the entirety of the game. I'm going to have to replace Piggly for now. Yeah, this is how the charm works. It actually has a pretty nice area of effect as long as you find something that actually is affected by charm. I mean, by all means. I guess there are some things that you would need charm for. But yeah, as you can see, it's actually pretty fast. It has really good reach. The Gabbled, I mean. And it comes it comes equipped with a status effect. It has a lower chance of happening than other things that are status effect dedicated. But it deals a lot of damage at the same time. The status effect that it inflicts is of course paralysis, but in context of this game, saying it's a status effect is the same as, it basically means the same thing. And as you can see here, what's a little bit confusing, even though he's electric elemental, the crystals he destroys are actually the same color as the fire elemental crystals that Keats gets to destroy. What's interesting about that, Ellen, I don't believe she even gets fire element. Whereas Keats, I don't think he actually gets electric element.
Huh.
But both of them, use. Well, Keats uses fire and Ellen uses electric on similar types of monsters, like, for example, against the boss of this level. Yeah, and here they show you that you have to use destruction element on them. Actually, I think that was another. No, it was gobbled.
It was gobble. Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, the color coding in this game has always been a little bit confusing for me because a lot of things just look very similar. I mean, look at my. And this is the plane that was depicted in that picture that looked like some underwear.
Jesus Christ, how horrifying.
It has a face.
And it's also not very strong.
No. I mean, its biggest strength is that it's invulnerable for the most part. It's flying about.
It's a warthog.
Yeah, it deals normal elemental damage, and honestly, unless you're fighting like unless you're like showering them with other monsters of similar type, it's not very effective. I mean, like showering with a whole bunch of piglies and hawks and the likes of that. Thank God for invincibility frames. But yeah, as you can see there, one of the hawks just stays paralyzed and does not interfere.
Right.
So yeah, Gabbled basically stays useful for the entirety of the game. I even remember using him during the final boss.
Good.
Now, we obviously need to go forward, but we're going to go everywhere but.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what you're supposed to do in games like this.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah. But as you see, it's very unreliable because it fires straight forward and doesn't seem to really care for aiming or anything like that.
Well, yeah, but still. Fuck, man, just summon bombs.
It's interesting as a concept, but it doesn't actually work out very well. I guess maybe on level ups it becomes more useful because seeing as how amazing the troll got over time, it's yeah, it's a possibility. But yeah, here I think yeah, I'm just looking where to and what. So yeah, this is obviously a side area, so we're going to go here. Those are mines.
Whoa.
Yeah, and you actually get to capture a folk that can set the mines, aka those guys.
Great.
They're actually
Seems like that's all they do.
yeah, they don't have any other type of attack. And what's kind of interesting about them, what I think you will see here with this little guy, they actually have their bunkers right over here.
Huh.
Yeah, they just kind of run off to whenever you stop attacking them. Kind of an interesting little thing. But yeah, because we covered all, we destroyed all of the traps. He needed to come out and finish them off, and now we need to use boobs in order to smash those.
Good.
Overall, the trap setting monsters aren't actually all that great, unless maybe, again, maybe on the level ups. I could imagine them being pretty useful for creating an absolute clusterfuck. If you have like a whole bunch of enemies around you, and you just want to create real hell, that may be it. But yeah, again with Alan, you don't really have much of a direct control over it. Out of all of the soldier types, Hawk is by far the best one.
Well, yeah.
It's basically a less cute Piggly.
But man, now I'm really curious as to what the other regions got instead.
They're pretty interesting. As far as like which area is my favorite one, I don't remember. It's like the before last one and the last one are by far, in my opinion, the most interesting ones. But yeah, the next one's also pretty interesting. It has a pretty unique shtick when it comes to the design of the whole place.
Yeah.
They're all really good, and like this area isn't bad. It has some pretty interesting things about it. Like for example, when you come out from that location to this one, there is already an ambush waiting for you. Little things like that, or like the whole house with the little dudes just kind of setting bombs everywhere. It has a lot of like the area itself has a lot of character to it, just because of the way it works. And here I distinctly remembered that this boss over here gave me nightmares. And so I think I immediately turned back. Yes.
Oh god. You wuss.
Well, it isn't quite so bad this time around because I already know more or less how to defeat him, and also I am a lot higher leveled than I used to be when going through this game the first time around, because I wasn't doing any side quests. So I died a lot easier, but he's still a pain in the ass. So yeah, instead I just decide to first save and then just go off to that one area I haven't explored yet. before I actually go off and do that little fucker. Also, there was a certain issue I was constantly having with that boss, which I have never encountered before, and I was really confused when it happened. But you will see that. Do I? Oh no, I think I visit that area over there, like right before finishing off this level. Ignore, ignore, ignore. We. But yeah, they really love their shades of purple when it comes to color coding in this game.
Ouch.
Yeah,
Dude.
this guy is kind of relentless. Meet Gargantula.
He's a spider tank.
Yes.
Scorpion tank, rather.
He is weak to both destruction element and the electrical element. So boobs don't work on him. Now you may think that getting behind him is the best idea ever because he cannot shoot backwards and he has to get around. But no, he has Alban Star Racer style turrets around him. That's for one. And also he can back down on you. And here I'm also showcasing the defensive capabilities of the destruction element monsters. Like, they don't even need to be shields, but they can still block attacks. Having said that, there is a shield guy on this level, which is actually pretty useful, and he's, as far as I remember, actually located in that one room I haven't visited yet. Which is basically, like, I highly advise getting him before facing those guys.
Yeah. Nice.
And here, yeah, he actually between different charges, he just goes through different attacks that he has when you're fighting him, which I always found to be an interesting touch.
Gargantia. Sheena loves that show. And the filters actually kind of make him hard to see somewhat.
Yeah, but yeah, no, there is a lot of smoke going on around here. I mean, we're right next to a tank that's shooting like 10 bullets at once.
Yeah. So do you think that he just fires his bullets everywhere and hopes they hit?
Fire everywhere. Yes, it is the Instalungs.
Yep. That seems to be working though.
Yeah. That's another thing with this guy, or rather, like, basically every enemy in this game. And here is something weird that happened. He died before showing off his id.
Huh. Whoops.
Yeah. And because I haven't absorbed his id, I am not granted the access to the next area.
Oh, that's bullshit.
No, that's much smarter than... that's actually really smart that they do. You don't actually need Gargantua in order to actually get through the level. However, like in the earlier levels, say if you didn't get the troll id, you wouldn't be able to continue forward. And it was very smart because if you haven't had the troll id, you wouldn't be able to defeat the boss of that level, right?
Yeah. Well, time to go back and absorb him proper after getting healed.
Mm-hmm.